free to get a drink. But we also have an exciting speaker, and our speaker tonight is someone who has been in your shoes before, those who just pitch their business ideas. Mike Malloy was a Georgetown graduate student just a little over 2 years ago. He started a company called Waveborn. He sells sunglasses that are awesome. Who has got some Waveborn sunglasses? Are they awesome? All right. All right. And so he'll tell you a little bit about his company. The company's growing fast. They're selling lots and lots of glasses. They've raised some funding. They also have an important social mission, which I think he'll tell you a little bit about. And one last thing I'll mention about Mike is a big-time ultimate Frisbee player. So, and that's you figure out some way to make that a business expense, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, Mike Malloy.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate the opportunity to come up and follow this great. It was about 19 companies that just presented. Was really impressed with the students and the businesses that they've started, and I hope I can share some of my experience and wisdom to help them on their entrepreneurial journey. As Jeff mentioned, I'm the CEO at Waveborn Sunglasses. We sell high-end Italian sunglasses, and for every pair sold, we give the gift of sight. And we're able to do that by funding life-changing cataract surgeries around the globe. My entrepreneurial journey started here at Georgetown, not in the business school. I was not a business student, but I was getting my master's in computer science up at St. Mary's. And for me, Waveborn started as a fun side project. It was a nights and weekends thing that I was working on while in school and working full-time at Deloitte. And so something that I want to implore to the students in the room is that now is the very best time to start a business. You don't need to be making money. Ideally, you're not paying rent, or your parents are paying it, or your tuition's paying it. There's a dining hall that feeds you. You can fail over and over and over again, and it's fine. I mean, don't fail all your classes. Sorry, you can fail with business stuff. You should pass your classes. But I think Georgetown has done an incredible job of building this entrepreneurial ecosystem for you guys to benefit from. And I want you to understand not only the intelligence of the people in this room, but the network and our desire to help you. I've been able to literally build my business based on the Georgetown alumni community. I've had mentors, I've had investors, I've had advisors, I've had events like this. 2 months ago was the Mava Tech Buzz event downstairs where I got to pitch to a room of 100 investors. And as a Hoya alumni, we take great pride in taking care of the next generation. I've got 4 or 5 companies named Circle that I want to talk to afterwards and figure out how can I help them. And that mentality, the give before you get, I think goes a long way and speaks a lot also about the Jesuit values that I think we try to instill here at Georgetown. So I'm going to take a minute and just give a little bit more background about Waveborn and where we got to where we are today, and hopefully give a couple more lessons along the way. So as I mentioned, this was a side project for a year. This was not something I quit my job at Deloitte on Friday, and on Monday I said, hey, let me figure out what that next job is going to be. I kept that very nice Deloitte paycheck for a full year while I built this thing and saved some money. And when I finally graduated from Georgetown in May of 2012, technically I owed Deloitte 2 years of my life. And I said, or I had to pay back grad school. And I said, life from 25 to 27 is worth more than $20,000. I would like to be able to go and build this business to take the experience I've had in growing it and really take it to the next step. So I graduated in May, quit my job in June, and moved to Dewey Beach, Delaware for the summer. That was fun. It was really fun. I was talking to Barry beforehand, and I said, being 26 and single, owning a sunglass company, living at the beach, it was not the worst lifestyle decision I've ever made. I learned a lot there. I was able to sell some sunglasses and do some market research and understand what did the girls in bikinis at the beach want to be wearing with each outfit. From there, I was able to learn how do we sell to retailers. We started as a small B2C company selling one-off pairs. I realized if this is going to grow, if it's going to scale, I need to be selling 100 pairs at a time, And I'm happy to report this summer, we had 5 stores in Ocean City, Maryland selling our sunglasses. We had 3 in Dewey. We just got into Rehoboth Beach as well. We've got a bunch out on the West Coast. We've been able to grow the business by actively engaging in those communities and going out and talking to our customers. Whatever your business is, whoever you want to be selling to, and you're always selling. If you're an entrepreneur, you're selling every minute you're awake. go and talk to your customers. Interview them, whether or not they want to buy from you. If they don't, that's fine. There's lots of people. I get no's every day, but understand why they're saying no. Is it how you've presented it? Is it not solving a pain point? And what can you do to better understand their life and their business to make your solution appeal to them? I think a big transition we've made in the company recently has been going from, selling direct to the consumer where it's a quick, small sale, and I can list the features. Hey, they're made in Italy, Zeiss lenses, 1-year warranty, and we donate cataract surgery. That's great, but that's not the larger sale. And something that I want to try to explain to the up-and-coming entrepreneurs is the larger sale. It's not about making a quick buck and then turning the corner and never seeing them again. It's about saying, hey, I want to work with you for the next 10 years. This is the first month. Here's what I think it's going to look like in month 3 and month 6. 5 minutes? Okay, cool. And being able to basically build a long-lasting relationship, and I think myself, especially as an entrepreneur, I spent a lot of time selling one-off pairs of shades out of the trunk of my car or on our website. Like, that was good for a little while, but it's not scalable, and it's not how you do business for the next 40 years. Your career is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And that quote is literally the background on my computer. And I look at it every day, and it reminds me, what am I doing today to move forward some relationships and feel good about what we're doing? So in looking for those larger sales, you need to understand what is your larger value proposition. How are you helping other people? And in this building in particular, in the business school, everyone's going to ask you, what is your business model? How do you make money? What is your gross margin? That's great. I want to ask you, what is your giving model? How are you giving back to other people? Whether it's in your local community, whether it's by donating a portion of your profits, whether it's by donating your time to come back to campus after you graduate and help the next generation of entrepreneurs. When building businesses, I want to encourage everyone to be a social entrepreneur, to find some way to help other people with the work you're doing, because not only does that make the business run better, it makes you feel better, it makes other people want to be a part of what you're doing, because that's how the world works. Everyone has been able to advance their careers by helping others and getting help from those above them. Like, I wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for quite a few of the faces in the audience out there who have helped me. And I appreciate all of that. And I want you guys to know that we're here to take care of you, And there's a lot of Georgetown alumni that have started businesses. Similar to, well, I like Blue Hanger. I've liked them for a long time, but I did like the other closet company about what do you wear in the morning, because literally this morning I wore some nice laundry socks started by Phil, who's a Georgetown alum. I'm wearing a J&C custom tailored shirt that they made for me, and I have some fabulous Waveborn sunglasses. Georgetown literally dresses me in the mornings. Not to be confused with last week when I was able to meet with the CEO of Under Armour, and I wore my red and black Under Armour pullover and a little bit more Maryland-based colors. But, so I met with Kevin Plank last week, and he had some great advice for me. And one thing that he told me was, don't forget to sell your shirts and shoes. There's a lot of fun things that go into entrepreneurship and doing all of the, really exciting Richard Branson flying on jets or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, remember what your business is. Remember how you're supposed to make money. Remember who your customers are. I already said you should talk to them. But make sure you're making money from them and you're selling to them. And maybe you're being rejected. That's fine. Reposition how you're pitching the business. And understand, yes, you get to do a lot of cool things as an entrepreneur, but you need to make sure that the money's coming in to balance that out. And it doesn't mean you have to be profitable. There's certainly, investor ways to go, but you should understand, how is this thing going to work out in the long run, or at least the middle run, And I think that's some good advice that I certainly took to heart. And he also said, don't give away your stuff for free, and that was about 30 seconds after I'd given him a free pair of sunglasses. So speaking of which, I brought sunglasses. If anyone would like to buy a pair, I'm now selling them. I'm not just giving them away in this room. That's something that Kevin ingrained in me. But so I think another point that I wanted to encourage you guys to think about as you're here at Georgetown, you're in this incredible environment, ask questions. Ask people who are smarter than you how they got smarter than you. and it's usually because they talk to other people that were smarter than them. If you want to try to accomplish something and do something new that you've never done before, find 5 people who've done it. Try to reach out to them, whether it's a cold email or somebody who can introduce you, and spend 15 minutes with them and say, hey, how did you build this business? How were you able to get the supply chain set up? How were you able to get a partnership with Coca-Cola? How were you able to get Amazon to buy all your sunglasses? Figure that out and then apply those lessons to the businesses you're building. There's a lot of smart people here who can help you understand that. And I think the other piece of advice is don't be afraid of failing, and failing a lot, and failing every single day. Like, I literally get someone to say no to me every day. And that takes a while to mentally get into a mindset where it's not the end of the world when someone tells you no, or I'm not going to do that, or I don't want to buy what you're selling, or get the hell out of my office, or never talk to me again, or no, I will not go to the Tombs with you on Friday night, whatever it may be. And I think I've been conditioned through this business to just deal with it. Like, I'm not worried. People say no to me, oh, that's fine, I'm going to go talk to the next person, or I'm confident enough that what I'm bringing is valuable, and I want you guys in your businesses to know, hey, this is going to work, and I'm committed, and this isn't something I want to do for 2 weeks, and then when it gets hard, I want to stop. Entrepreneurship is all about higher highs and lower lows, and personally, I've experienced some of those lower lows. I've been doing this full time for about 2.5 years. There have been a couple dips where we didn't have any money. We didn't have anybody who said they wanted to pay us money, and we had a lot of people who said I owed them money. And those are very tough times. And maybe you don't get as low of a low when you're still in school. Hopefully, there's a net there. But knowing that there's always a way up from that, and through experiencing that, you should develop some perseverance and some mental toughness that'll help you get out of it. And I was asking my girlfriend, last night, like, hey, what should I talk about? I get to just have a microphone and people are going to listen for a while. And she said, why don't you talk about overcoming the paralysis and that fear of just not being able to move or do anything because things are so bad and no one ever wants to talk to you ever again? And I said, well, Katie, I don't want to talk about that. That's pretty uncomfortable. I don't feel too good about that. And I wouldn't say I do that every day. Like, remember that time I just didn't move for a couple of hours the other day? But that's important. Like, that's actually part of the process. Like, there have been days where I have not gotten out of bed, and I have been terrified to look at my email or my missed calls or the investors that are calling or the banker, the customers that aren't satisfied. And eventually you have to pick yourself up, put your chest out, take a step forward and say, hey, how may I help you? What is the problem? What is the challenge? How can I make this better? Things are going to go wrong. Stuff's going to hit the fan. There's no business relationship where it's all peachy keen forever and everyone loves each other. It's a matter of when stuff gets hard, who else is standing up with you with their chest out and who pieced out and is already handing a $20 bill and on his way out. By the way, that was awesome. I liked that one a lot for the presentations. So I wanted to share that kind of experience with you guys and let you know that you're not alone. I think there's a whole series of information about founder depression and dealing with some of the hardships that come with entrepreneurship, and I want you guys to know that that's okay, and that your family and your friends and those people are going to take care of you. It may not be everybody. There are people who laughed at me and made fun of me when I quit my high-paying job and said, I'm just going to go to the beach and sell sunglasses. People literally thought I was crazy, and those are some folks that I'm not as close of friends with. And there were other people who said, hey, Malloy, I am so proud of you. This is incredible what you're doing. It's terrifying. I could never do it, but, that's great. And something that I encourage you guys to do, especially after you graduate, is to look to work at a co-working space. So I ran a co-working space for 2 years in Adams Morgan called Punch Rock. I now work out of 1776. We've got a great partnership there. And being surrounded by like-minded individuals who are starting and running their own businesses and dealing with some of the same things. Usually they're a little different, but at least, how do I acquire more customers? How do I, make more money? How do I talk to investors? How do I get a minimum viable product? Someone who knows that MVP stands for minimal viable product is someone you should be sitting next to, That's, those types of peers and networks that you can build are very valuable. So I think that's, one other thing I wanted to add, and kind of in closing, I want to just say thank you to Georgetown. I mean, this is a really cool opportunity for me to have the privilege to, share my experiences. And, I continue to be overwhelmingly impressed year after year with the companies and the students that are coming through with the ideas. And, it's a lot of work that goes into making events like this and building an entrepreneurial ecosystem here on campus. I was talking to Gareth Warren, like, this didn't exist 5 or 10 years ago. It's because you guys have built this, and we've come, and I think good things are happening as a result. So, I encourage everybody to keep working on their ideas and building their business, and would love to talk to, any of the young entrepreneurs afterwards. And, yeah, Hoya Saxa.